Hi, my name is Tina Feldstein, and I am a resident of the historic Prairie District in Chicago's booming South Loop, and I also happen to be the president of the Prairie District Neighborhood Alliance, which is also referred to as the PDNA. And the Prairie District Neighborhood Alliance is an association of associations. Basically, it's all of the townhome communities and the condominium buildings that from 16th Street on the north end to Cermak on the south, which is 22nd Street, and from Lakeshore Drive to Indiana. And it would actually go to the alley between Indiana and Michigan Avenue. So it would comprise the west side of Indiana. That area comprises the boundaries that the PDNA represents. So all of the condominium associations or townhome communities can become a member by association. And by doing that, we have joined together a very, very powerful group of concerned residents that want to be a part of the development here in our neighborhood. For those of you who are not aware, this neighborhood, Prairie Avenue specifically, is one of the most important streets in Chicago's history. If you go back, really, one of the most significant events in Chicago's history, the Great Dearborn Massacre of 1812, took place right on between Prairie Avenue and Calumet on 18th Street, which is right in the heart of our neighborhood. And many people have forgotten about the Great Dearborn Massacre. However, it is one of the red stars on our Chicago flag. So that took place here. And then, of course, you had the First World's Fair, the Columbian Exposition of 1893. Many of the people who built Chicago lived at that time right here on Prairie Avenue. Famous people like Marshall Field and Pullman and Armour and Kimball. I mean, so many who's names. Some of the most exciting things, the architecture that still exists in the neighborhood has been preserved, and much of the initial development around the area was townhomes or low-density type of residential development that was built to look like it would fit in with the character of the old neighborhood. In fact, right here on the corner of 21st and Prairie Avenue was Daniel Burnham's very first commission. Of course, Burnham was the great architect of the World's Fair and the great architect of Chicago, the great plan for Chicago. And he was hired by Sherman, who at the time was the head of the Union Stockyards, and he hired him to build his single-family home right here on Prairie and 21st. And in the process of that job, Burnham met Sherman's wife, who became Sherman's daughter, who became his wife. So I mean, the history on Prairie Avenue is like nothing other. And even later on, after the Great Fire, much of the homes were destroyed and they were rebuilt. And then the Second World's Fair, which was 1933, took place right across the lake, right here where the Field Museum is and Soldier Field is. So all four stars on the Chicago flag, there's four of them: the Great Dearborn Massacre, the Great Fire, the First World's Fair, which was the Columbian Exposition, and then of course the Second World's Fair, which is the Century of Progress. All are significant to Prairie Avenue. So it's exciting, and at the same time it's surprising to me that so many people have no clue about how rich the history is in this neighborhood and how vibrant the opportunities are to bring it back to what it once was. But there are a core group of us that do live in the neighborhood and do celebrate its history, and that those people want to continue to protect it. And that's kind of why the Prairie District Neighborhood Alliance was formed, is so that as the South Loop continues to develop, that they don't try and put properties or high-rises and developments that don't fit within the community. So it's pretty exciting because the PDNA has developed alliances with the Alderman's office, with the Department of Planning, with City Hall, with Mayor Daley, of course with other community organizations, and we're very, very excited about our partnership in the community. And of course, you know, no one can say for sure, but we're all pretty excited about the 2016 Olympic bid. And the city, you know, I'm sure many of you can read articles, they're planning on pouring $1.1 billion into this area around that Olympic bid. And this area has nowhere to go but up. It's incredibly exciting. You've got the lake right across from us, you've got transportation, whether it be Metro or the L or lots of bus transportation. You've got easy access to the Loop. Many people like it here because they can get to work very quickly, as well as the other expressways are very close by. So the neighborhood just makes sense, and we want to keep it residential but let it grow.